Alright, there are just a lot. Hang on. There are a lot of devices you can play games on, and also a lot of devices you can make games for or release games on. But which is the better platform to release your games on? Let's find out. Also, I have way too many consoles. And this isn't all of them. There are a few more hidden in this house, like the Wii U. Although that one stays hidden because that was terrible. But let me clean this up. Hang on. Alright, so when I started Orange Pixel back in 2004, the most logical solution for my games was mobile phones. And this was long before the iPod and the iPhone and Android smartphones were created. Like 3-4 years before that, the only option was feature phones, is what we called them back then. Basically the Nokia phones, you know, Sony's, Siemens and all those type of brands. Tiny displays, digits at the front, and sometimes a little thumb stick type thing that would function as a joystick, or could function as a joystick. And my main reason for picking that as a platform to start making games on was because the tools were completely free. I had a phone that I could simply upload my games to, and I figured that the small screen would fit very nice with the type of games I wanted to make. I think the most common resolution was 128 by 160, which is very tiny, but it fit my type of games perfect. Of course, the PC was there, but there wasn't really a marketplace for it, and I also didn't have the right tools to create games for PCs. So that's why I went to mobile and not for PC, and console wasn't even an option back then because console wasn't open for small developers. You needed to be a company to actually release your games on those systems. But in those 15 years, a lot has changed on the mobile front. I mean, we went from crappy devices to smartphones with tiny screens that grew bigger and bigger, and then we had tablets, and then we went back to phones but with bigger screens, so that you didn't really know what the difference was between a tablet or a phone. And who knows where we'll end up in 5 or 10 more years. So for me, that's the main reason I'm starting to focus more on PC games, because honestly I don't know what the future of smartphones and mobile gaming is gonna bring. And I don't know if I can keep up. I'm getting older and learning new stuff will get harder as we grow older. So for me the PC is really the long-term investment. PCs don't change, they haven't changed in the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years. They get faster, they get better graphics, but the specifications of a PC are pretty much the same. They won't change in the next 10 years, I don't think so. Then there's consoles. Right now the Switch is probably the hottest item on the block. The hottest console to release on, the hottest console to play games on. I really love this thing, but every console has an expiration date of like 3 or 4 years. So yeah, if you can release on consoles that have a big audience at this time, do it. Just remember that in a long term, these consoles will not be around anymore and your games might not be available, and that's a little bit different when you release on PC. It's very unlikely that your game stops running on a new PC or that it's not fixable for a new PC. Once the Switch is really gone and Nintendo stops making it and they close their eShop, your games are gone and you have no way of selling games for these consoles anymore. Right, so why this whole topic on what the best platform is to release your games on? Well, first of all, I think I had a question from somebody once on Twitter. Sorry, can't remember who it was, but I wrote it down as one of the questions as topic for a video. So this is that video, hope you're watching. The second reason to do this video is because I've been in talk with publishers, and there's been a lot of pushing for a Switch version, and really the whole point for me finding a publisher was to release on PC and grow my business on PC, and it's sort of getting a little bit lost in the whole conversation. So that's been something that's on my mind for a while, because for me it's not so much about where can I make the most money right now, but more where is my long-term business. So more what's the safer way to go. And of course, if I can release on a Switch or on a PlayStation 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever, I will do that. I will release on those consoles if I can. But for long-term investments, I need something that's really always going to be there. And Mobile is changing so fast. It's scary what they did in just 10 years. So can't imagine what they'll do in the next 10 years. And I'm not talking about foldable phones or anything. I'm just talking about everything from smart assistants. So will we actually still be carrying a device with a display on it, or are we just going to talk into a little gadget or something without a display? I don't know. And business wise, that's very scary. And that's why I've been trying to force myself to move more towards PC games. But I'm still gonna release on smartphones, obviously, because that's really where my main core business still is. That's where I make most of my revenue. I'm just hoping that in the next 10 years I'll also have a PC revenue coming in, because if smartphones just magically vanish, I would be out of a job, or at least out of money. And that's a very scary thing to have. But it's very interesting to think about, and it's very important to think about if you're going to do this long term. Because honestly, 15 years ago, I never expected me to be running Orange Pixel for at least 15 years. So that's pretty interesting. And we should do a video on that, because this year is going to be my 15th year of Orange Pixel. So we need to do some celebration of it or something. I don't know yet. We'll see. For now, this is it. I'm going to play Tetris 99. I'm slightly addicted to it. It's Tetris. Everybody likes Tetris. Everybody loves Tetris. So see you guys next week. Bye.